A car is tested for resistance to lightning strikes by applying a discharge of 3 million volts, 1942. Street dancing in Amsterdam, 1960s to 1970s. Gentleman in cycle car with his wife and kids secured in the front, circa 1910. Brushing a hippopotamus's teeth at the Moscow Zoo, 1944. An employee of the Zaria Goods Services Bureau dressed as Father Frost while registering New Year's orders, USSR, 1971. George H.W. Bush with his son, 1946. Child labour in the mines. Telephone booth theft, United Kingdom, late 19th century. Dolly Parton with soldiers during Operation Desert Storm, 1991. Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall on the set of Popeye, 1980. A post office worker at the control panel of a letter sorting machine, Moscow, 1958. Silent Grand Schemer monks of the Russian Orthodox Church, Balaam Monastery, Russian Karelia, 1888. Mankering Potts, Korea, circa 1900. Endurance trapped in pack ice, 1915. Clint Eastwood. Steven Spielberg's Jaws was one of the most terrifying films of its time, and they used this puppet to film that terrifying shark. A Trio of New York Showgirls, 1921. The black community takes the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States flag, 1900s. Elizabeth II with her sister. (1945) Soviet soldiers polish their boots while standing on a Nazi flag. This English teacher was so proud of this college portrait in 1975. Belka the cosmonaut dog, Soviet Union, August 1960. Photographer of the atomic bomb test, Bikini Atoll, 1946. A Berkeley University student sits barefoot in the lotus position, California, United States, 1960. Bernard Otto Holtermann next to the Holtermann slab, a gold nugget weighing 285 kilograms, 83.2 kilograms of pure gold. Hill End, New South Wales, Australia, 1872. Freddie Mercury's parents, Bomi and Gerbil Sara, on their wedding day, 1946. An unusual image of Monica Bellucci, 1988. The Panhard Dynavia aerodynamic concept at the 1948 Paris Motor Show. Pepsi commercial, Spice Girls, 1997. A child drinks and holds a baby crocodile in one hand, Australia, circa 1991. Michael Jackson and Goofy, 1980. A Show on a Commuter Bus, New Jersey, 1963. Tibetan Greeting with Tongue Out, 1955. Equal pay protest at the Melbourne Town Hall in Melbourne, Australia, February the 20, 1969. An apparent swing shortage at a Chicago Beach, Illinois, 1930. Tina Turner, Mick Jagger, Madonna, Bob Dylan backstage at Live Aid, 1985. Frederick C. Branch, the first African-American to be commissioned in the United States Marine Corps, has his second lieutenant's bars pinned on by his wife. 10th November 1945. A homeless German woman with her dog and belongings sits among the ruins in Cologne, Germany, 1945. Elvis Presley, surrounded by fans in Bad Homburg during his military service in Company A, 2nd Medium Tank Battalion, Germany, in 1958. Donald Smith, later known as Lord Strathcona, drives the final spike into the Canadian Pacific Railway in British Columbia, November 7, 1885. Uzbek schoolgirls in a math class, Tashkent, 1921. This doesn't look like baby formula photo from the 1970s. Adriano Celentano. Maltese Women Talking, 1950. Albert Einstein with his mistress Margarita Konenkova, a Soviet spy, 1940s. GIs of the 28th Field Artillery Battalion preparing to fire a 155mm shell behind German lines. Fit family posing at Muscle Beach in California in the 1950s. The Girl's Bedroom, 1975. Inside Fort Sam Houston, as 64 soldiers of the all-black 24th Infantry Regiment are court-martialed for mutiny. After being repeatedly harassed and attacked by the police, the soldiers had snapped. A total of 156 soldiers marched on Houston, 1917. People climb onto the Berlin Wall the morning after the announcement by the East German government that they would start granting exit visas to East Germans wanting to go to the West on November 10, 1989. A cleaning lady at the Pablo Picasso exhibition at the Tel Aviv Museum of Art, Israel, 1966. Brigitte Bardot having her portrait painted by Kees van Dongen, 1959. The Japanese Hakata Gion Yamakasa Festival, July 1894. This festival is believed to be over 770 years old and is still celebrated today. A very young Marilyn Monroe in one of her first modelling shots, 1946. A Lesson for Skiers London, 1938. Cowgirls, 1920. Brigitte Bardot in the 50s. Guardian of the Pole is a snowman made of ice by polar explorers in 1973. Police officers with Belvedere State Bank employees during a reenactment of the bank robbery, 1923. Punk girls in Stockport Town Centre in 1983. Just some friends goofing around in the 1890s. Chelsea Football Club players practice heading the ball, 1935. At the request of the astronauts, a piece of rough Velcro fabric was attached to the inside of the lunar helmet so that they could scratch their noses. Apollo 17, 1972. The first Russian racing car, Russo-Balt C24-55-3, at the first International Rally Monte Carlo Principality of Monaco, 1912. The Black Jewish Community of Harlem, 1940s. Nebraska girl Audra Thomas photographed in front of a tornado, 1989. Couple dancing Lindy Hop in the 1940s. A Sikh soldier holds a captured German flag after the surrender of German forces in Italy, May 1945. Alison Hayes, 1930 to 1977, American film and television actress and model. London schoolchildren hide under their desks during an air raid in 1940. Prisoners crush cobblestones and sew prison clothes. Robben Island, South Africa, 1964. During the inflation, many shops in Germany exchanged goods for food. 1923. A Faust patron mounted on a donkey, 1940s. A police mugshot of 2-year-old François Bertillon, the youngest criminal ever arrested on charges of gluttony, specifically for eating all the pears in a basket, 1893. Ernest Hemingway feeds pigeons in Venice, 1954. Pope John Paul II shaking hands with the man that shot at him 4 times 2 years prior. Hair straightening, 1960s. Sammy Thurman Brackenbury, 1960 National Finals Rodeo. Flappers, photo from the 1920s. With a Faithful Friend, 1975. One of the first precursors to the ATM, this truck was called the Roving Bank Teller and made occasional stops around Los Angeles. Inside was a bank teller. California, 1929. Second graders use an abacus in arithmetic, Ohio, United States, 1958. Proof that cat ladies have always existed, circa 1870. Rapper Tupac Shakur after being shot 5 times. New York City, November 30, 1994. Future Italian cinema legend Sophia Loren at the Miss Italy contest in 1950. Young Albert Fish. The Bachelor Party, 1870. The model of the Enterprise from Star Trek is filmed in the show just after arriving from the workshop 1965. A schoolgirl applies clear nail polish to her bobby socks to keep them from slipping down in the 1950s. Northampton, United Kingdom, famous for its shoemaking. Kids play on an attraction in the town in 1966. Demonstrating crocodile hunting with a taxidermized crocodile, Egypt, around 1905. Occultus the Robot, 1909. Comma Centaur, 1933. Then and Now, 1970 and 2024. A family recreated the photo 54 years later in Salford, England. Freddie Mercury, 1987. Four unidentified flying objects glow in the sky at 9:35 a.m. on July the 15th of 1952 in Salem, Massachusetts. Painting Blackpool Tower in England, 1953. Queen Elizabeth II personally tests the L-85 assault rifle, 1993. Detained gay men in Mexico City, 1935. Despite being imprisoned, the men in these photos pose proudly and smile. Stonehenge, 1897. the first aircraft take off from a warship. On November 14, 1910, aviator Eugene Burton Ely made the first takeoff from the makeshift deck of the aircraft carrier Birmingham in a Curtiss biplane. Hampton Roads, Virginia, 1910. Marilyn Monroe mugshot. Native American chiefs in full regalia. Cameron Diaz was a cheerleader in the late 80s. Autochrome shot of Greek women in traditional clothes, 1913. Guards of the Indian ruler Maharaja Ram Singh III, who guarded the royal palace in Jaipur in 1858. Jewish people protesting in Ellis Island against their deportation back to Germany in 1936. Children wearing bomb-proof caps and earmuffs and tongue protection. Sydney, 1942. Four women sampling a 9-foot-long baguette in Soho, New York City, 1955. The human taxi before cars in 19th century Mexico. NASA's first female astronaut candidates, 1978. Passengers watching the first in-flight film on an Imperial Airways flight, April 1925. Michael Jordan plays wheelchair basketball with a paralyzed boy, 1987. Marilyn Monroe in the March of Dimes to support vaccines to prevent polio in children, 1958. The crew of a TBF Avenger of Torpedo Squadron VT-31 scrambles from the sinking aircraft after ditching it during flight operations on board the United States ship Cabot CVL 28 September 6, 1943. Showing off a bottle of expensive wine in the trenches, World War I. Eric Bana, 1980s. Robert Downey Jr. and Sarah Jessica Parker, both 23 in 1988. This 1961 anti-nuclear protest in Auckland's Queen Street was led by children, a symbol of innocence and of the world's future. Sophia Loren waves a Confederate battle flag on her visit to Washington in 1958 and explains that she's a gal of the Old South herself from the Old South of Italy. Actress and model Vicky Dugan photographed by Ralph Crane in 1957.